No, I'm saying that that there's two sides to education, right? There's the person that's just giving the information, and then there's the student who's doing the building. One thing that we are trying to model, and this is where I'd say if we are providing an educational piece, it's to general study habits, general practice. We're not going to say test everything. We're going to try to show you and give examples of how to do it.
This is how to study.
And we have people email and say, hey, you talked about this. Do you have any resources I can recommend some readings, recommend some books or places to go. But I wouldn't say we're educational. I see that we're more prodding people.
See, I feel like we're showing. What I feel like we're trying to do is open up the toolbox and say, look, here are the tools. Now go use them. Okay, look, I have a buddy who is very into financial freedom. Okay, and kind of like one of these financial guru kind of guys, except for he'll tell you, he always talks about financial freedom, financial IQ, all these kind of things, and he'll straight up tell you, if you aren't going to put in the time, you're not going to make any money. You're going to be working a 9 to 5, and you're going to try to retire. You're not going to have enough money. But if you put in the hard work and the time, then you can become financially free and you can do it quickly. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the time to do that. And he's like, okay, that's great. You're not going to have a retirement saved. You're not going to have money to do anything. I feel the same way about people who say, well, I'm a dad and I don't have time to study. I don't have the ability or the time to go out and study the word like you do. Well, okay, that's fine, but what you put into your spiritual life, you're going to into your spiritual growth is what you're going to get out. If you say that you never have time to study and you never pick up your Bible and you never sit down and spend time with the Lord and pray, guess what? You're not going to get anything out of it. And so, I mean, the idea that I don't have time to sit down and study. Look, I get it. I'm a father of 2. I have a wife. I have a full-time job. I'm going to school. Okay. I have a part-time job as well. I get it. I get how busy people are. It's very difficult. And you know what? I wouldn't be able to study nearly as much if I didn't have the job that God has given me, which is great. But at the same time, I still find time on my own at my house to sit down with a book, to pray, to study, to look at things, to pull out accordance, to try to, I've tried to set myself up that I can actually look at things and study. So what I'm trying to do with this show is point out, no, this is not right. This person is saying this, but this isn't right. Why? How do we know that? Well, here are the tools to understand why he's not right. Now, if we've helped given you even one tool and you pick up another tool somewhere and you got an array of tools, guess what? Now you can sit down and you can make the time, but what you invest into it is what you're going to get out of it. It's also like food, right? Yeah. We've made the analogy of food. Go ahead.
Well, it says in Galatians, Paul just reiterates the principle: God is not mocked. A man sows what he reaps. Or sorry, I said that backwards. We reap what we sow.
Yeah.
Right. And it's talking about a personal. What are you investing your time into? And if it's I want to be a multimillionaire by the time I'm 30 or 40 or 50 or whatever, 30 and 40, those ships have passed for me. But if I want to build this because I want to have nice things in this world, and I want to have a comfortable future, then that's what occupies that person's attention, and they're going to grow in discernments on how how they can they can strategize, how they can do that. Well, all that energy, if that was put into spiritual things, you would likewise reap reward. I've actually had people tell me, well, I never had the luxury to study. And that feels a little bit of like, wait a minute. It's like finding someone who maybe has like an athlete or something. Not that I'm an athlete, but just saying, like Larry Bird he made 95 out of every 100 free throws he shot from the line. Well, I'm just not gifted like Larry Bird. No, he practiced like 500 free throws a day. You know, when the Madison Square Garden was empty, he would be there, and there'd be a janitor sweeping floors, and Larry Bird would be there at the free throw line shooting free throws. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the what do you put into it? And Yeshua said he never promised easy. He never he actually said he made it pretty clear. Count the cost. The man who found a treasure in the field, he sold everything he had to find that field. What does that translate into in today's world? What it means saying no to things that the world wants you to say yes to.
One of the things that I do want to do with this show is be the leaky faucet that just keeps dripping, right? Even the people who don't like us, even the people who are against us in theology and those kind of things, I hope that when they start listening to something that sounds real good, sounds too good to be true, I can think of numerous occasions that this has happened. Tovia Singer is a good one. Another one is like the Copper Scroll Project. When you heard these things, things come over you see them on YouTube and you think, wow, this is amazing, right? Or, wow, this person knows so much more than I do. The one thing I hope about what the Rob and Caleb Show does is makes you stop and say, hang on, wait a second.
Does this pass the... Remember, well, we had our 7 things.
We had 7 things. But
does it pass the sniff test?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we want to do.